Welcome to our community. Susie Thomas with you this morning. Wow, am I excited. We've got folks from the Spark program that is offered by the, if I'm correct on here, the Stark County District Library. Is that good? No.
We partner with the Stark County District Library, but we are a program of the Early Childhood Resource Center.
Awesome. All right. Well, we're going to find out about all these different things together. We've got Danielle Bunner, Michelle Hessen, and Maya Hessen all here today to tell us more about Spark. Okay. So, Danielle, let's start with you. All right. What does Spark mean? Does it stand for something?
It sure does. It stands for Supporting Partnerships to Assure Ready Kids.
And this was begun by the Early Childhood Resource Center?
The Sisters of Charity Health System and the Sisters of Charity Canton Foundation was where it originally started out of back in 2003.
Boy, how many things that are awesome in our community. You go back and you follow the beginnings, and there are the Sisters of Charity right there.
That's true.
Over and over again. All right, so tell me a little bit about how it got started.
So we came to be with a grant from the Kellogg Foundation, and they started Spark, and it just started in two communities here in Stark County, and that was Canton and Minerva. Mm-hmm. And over the years, we just grew and grew and grew, and now we are all throughout Stark County and all throughout Ohio, too.
How many schools? I don't mean to do a pop quiz, but in general, do you have an idea about how many?
Absolutely. Here in Stark County, we are with Alliance, Canton City, Canton Local, Fairless Local, Massillon, Minerva, Perry, Plain, and Sandy Valley.
Awesome. And if you live in those school districts, you can benefit from Spark.
Absolutely. It is a free program for anybody that is living in that school district.
Now, it's an amazing thing to think that there are a number of young people heading off to kindergarten this year who are totally ready thanks to Spark, or way more ready than if they had not gotten to take advantage of Spark. We are blessed to have one of those people right here with us. Hi, Maya. Hi. So tell me, what happens? Does someone come to your house pretty regularly and read to you?
Yes.
Who is it? What's her name?
Miss Emily.
Miss Emily. Tell me about Miss Emily. What's she like?
What?
Yeah. You're thinking it over. But I bet Miss Emily has brought some really good books to your house, has she? And
Yeah.
And the one thing about radio is your adorable head is nodding, but we need to hear it come out of your cute little mouth as well. So, yeah, she brought some books. Do you remember some of the stories that you got to read with Miss Emily this summer?
The Red Little Hen.
The Little Red Hen. Was that your favorite one? I love that story. That teaches me that everybody has to help. What did you learn from that story?
The cat loves herself and she brushes her hair.
Ah, she did, huh? They all wanted to eat the bread, but nobody wanted to help the little red hen make the bread, right?
No.
Yeah. So I remember just saying it over and over. Not I, said the cat. Not I, said the whatever. Not I, said that, when she was saying, who will help me? And nobody was raising their hand saying, yeah, I will. So they didn't get to eat the bread. So you enjoyed that story. Are you looking forward to kindergarten?
Yes.
What do you think is going to be the most fun about kindergarten this fall?
Recess.
Of course it is. Well, I think you're also going to like looking at books because you are totally ready. Thanks to Spark. Can we talk to your mom here a little bit? Hi, Michelle.
Hello.
It's always fun to hear from the parents and what great kind of a little relief during the day in the summer to have somebody come on by and kind of entertain the kids, right?
Absolutely. You know, Maya started with Spark last August, and I really wasn't sure what Spark was about. And so when Miss Emily called, she's like, we just want to come out. And I was like, oh, no, that's okay. I'm really not for this. And she's like, well, it's a free program. I was like, oh, it is? I was like, oh, how exciting. And so she came out, and when she came out and she started working one-on-one, and then we were like partners, Emily and I, just reading to Maya, making sure that, she was aware of her name. She was able to recognize it along with the letters, numbers, putting puzzles together, and then just doing a fun game. Maya had a fun game. Do you remember the fun game and what it was called? The Spotted game, I think, was one of them that she really liked. And
Fun, yeah.
she always looked forward to her Spark person to come. And,
Yes.
and one of the things that, that I really liked is that how Maya now is really excited about kindergarten. She has a positive attitude. And I believe it's because of Spark.
Because you have learned the learning is really fun and school is fun, yes? You've had fun with it.
Yeah.
Yes. I didn't want to put words in your mouth, but I know you meant that because you told me that already. It's kind of neat, really, to know that while Miss Emily is working with Maya, you're picking up some cool things to be able to do just as a mom, right? Tell me some of that.
Yeah. So when Emily would come once a month, then she would also put goals together. And so I was able to work with Maya throughout the month until Emily came back the following month. So one of the goals would be, for Maya to count to 120. One of the other goals would be for her to recognize rhombus as opposed to diamond. Another one would be for her to draw the diamond. And then just recognize even the lowercase letters between the D and the B.
You're looking at a former kindergarten teacher here.
Uh-huh.
And I cannot believe that children are entering kindergarten knowing these things already.
Yes.
I was happy if they could tie their shoes. So you're talking rhombus and you're talking counting to 120. We need to save something for those kindergarten teachers to teach them.
Right.
My goodness. Well, that's just amazing. What a head start. I mean, what a leg up you really have.
Yes.
Now, these are, and am I right? You also got to keep free books, right?
Yes. Every time Miss Emily came, she always left a book along with an activity. So each time, Maya definitely looked forward to that, whether if it was construction paper and chalk or whether if it was Play-Doh and all these little paper plates, or she always had something that was left behind.
And this is once a month at a time that's convenient to both of you.
Yes.
That is just so cool. Well, Danielle, I'm thinking that it's got to take a lot to organize all of this because how many families in all of these school districts are getting this exciting start?
Probably close to 1,000 families throughout Starr County alone. Over 2,000 throughout the state of Ohio is what we serve annually.
Is this something that occurs in other communities as well? Is this kind of a template that other communities are using, or are we unique?
Well, sure. That's why we are able to have other communities replicate what we are doing and do the same exact Spark program throughout all of Ohio.
All of Ohio. Other states as well? Is there something like
There is some, another state that is working with us to maybe recreate.
But Ohio's the best because we've
of
got
course, Spark Ohio. Yes.
Spark Ohio. It's got to take some funding. How is it funded?
We are funded by different state funding, different providers throughout the communities that will come in, and us as Sisters of Charity Health System. As well,
obviously, yes. Is there something that someone, maybe a retired teacher, would hear about this program and say, well, I would love to either A, volunteer with it, or B, maybe go online and contribute towards this?
Oh, absolutely. There is a way to contribute through the Early Childhood Resource Center. We're always open to that. As far as volunteering, we do have a number of volunteers that come help different things. Just as Michelle had spoken about the things that we leave with the home, we do book packing, and everything has to be put in just the right way to make sure that those families receive those books every single month.
Well, I'm looking at a really fun book pack. Tell me what's in there. That's a good example of the kinds of things.
We'll talk about the book that we that Miss Maya loves over there, and that's A Little Red Hen. And we talked about the book already and what happens, the not eyes and everything.
Not eye.
But we do leave a book with the child each time. So this is Little Red Hen. We have the activity card that Michelle spoke of, too, that helps with the continued learning throughout the whole month. But also leave some supplies so that the family can continue to work on, just maybe the letters that they worked on that month. This activity right here leaves
I see lots of loaves of
paper,
bread.
Yes, and counting, of course, on these loaves of bread.
Yes.
And some glue sticks just to make sure that they have everything that they need to do. So they can make stick puppets in here. And that'll just work on some of the things like the social emotional and the fine motor, so the cutting out and everything of the pieces.
Let's peel that back a little bit. There's a lot of thought that goes into these kinds of activities. There's more to this than just being able to recognize some letters, put them together into a word, and know what that word means. You're talking about developing the whole child when you're talking about an art activity and social and emotional growth as well. How do you put that all together?
Well, the nice part about Spark is that we come into the home and we do assessments, and we do what is called the ages and stages, and the ages and stages social emotional. So that kind of gives us a little bit of a background when we come into the home to see where's that child at, where do they need to go. So everything within Spark is the same lesson per child, but the parent partner is able to individualize that lesson so they can see where they need to go with that child.
Also, back in school, I used to find that parents were so surprised at what their child was able to do. Did you find that? Do you find that parents are always a little more surprised to find out that their child is capable of doing? Or Michelle, I'll ask you, were you surprised? Wow, Maya, you're cutting things out. I didn't know you were ready to cut things out. Is that a surprise?
No, I was the opposite.
Okay.
When she was doing her assessment with Miss Emily, she had a count. And I was that parent that I'm like, what are you doing? You know that stuff.
She's cheering you on all the way, right,
yeah,
Maya?
So,
There are parents, though, that do underestimate really what their child can do. And it is hard sometimes for a parent to sit down with their child and say, all right, we're going to cut now, or we're going to count now. And bringing that extra person into the home, the parent partner, really creates that kind of flow of, okay, the parent, we're going to show you as a parent what you can do and how you can help your child.
What should a parent or a grandparent of a kindergartner know that they're ready to do before they really are ready to go to school? The counting is a very important thing, counting 1 to 20, identifying letters, and as Michelle had said, lowercase letters too. The fine motor skills of cutting. There is that big social emotional piece too. We have something called 16 for Success. And that is 16 things that a child really does need to know. I mean, there's a number of them on there, but those are the things that you will know the child is prepared and ready to be in that kindergarten classroom. Can we go to the Early Childhood Resource Center's website and find those 16 to Success? Where do we find those?
You can actually just Google 16 for Success.
Can you? Okay.
And it will show up. I think it's through the Summit Education Initiative is actually who started that.
Without naming all 16, tell me a couple of things that are on that list.
The shapes is on. We talked about the rhombus and the diamond and everything.
and that Pentagon.
Way beyond circle and square.
Rhyming.
Okay.
That's can be a hard one for kids. The counting 1 to 20. What else is on there? Let's see. We just talked again about the letter identification. That is very important because children are writing sentences and their names and everything as soon as they get into that classroom. So,
I did find, if it's okay to mention, I used to work for a school district, and I found with kindergarten, just teaching them, the biggest thing is that parents really want to stay away from, if at all possible, is to stop using their nickname. So for an example, I'm just going to throw something out there. And my daughter's wearing a pink bow. And so if I keep saying, pink bow, come here, she is not going to know that her name is Maya. So the biggest thing is that the child truly knows what their name is. And I found that to be continual with many students.
So, if all they're hearing is, come here.
Yeah.
They start to think maybe that's
absolutely
their name.
Absolutely.
We forget, don't we? My goodness, there's so much to know about what's going on in a mind that's absorbing everything so quickly from year to year. And we tend to forget, where are they at this stage? So, it's fascinating. It's fun. We're going to talk more about reading readiness and kindergarten readiness and more with Danielle, Michelle, and Maya after these words. You're listening to Our Community.